so the organization FIRST comes out with a new game every year, and one of the main challenges that we face as a team is we have to build a robot in 6 weeks. And so kickoff is the first day teams around the world will get that game, and the game's explained to them, the rule book is released, all the materials are released, every team buys a kit of parts, which you use almost everything in there on your robot already. And so basically just kickoff is the first day of the, what we like to call build season.
Well, the first week we all come back to the school after we watch the kickoff video, and we sit down and we talk about just the game, and we learn all the rules of the game, and then we start, building field elements so that we get a feel for everything that's happening, and we finally start talking about robots eventually.
I was a little bit surprised about how much brainstorming there's been going on, and I'm really glad that we did, because it's very efficient and really nice to be able to work out all the details beforehand and just sit down with everybody and decide what needs to happen and how we're going to get that to be done.
Well, it was more like thinking about what we were going to do. It was first what we want it to do before we wanted to start thinking about what it does do and how we can do it.
Okay, so our team decided to go in a little bit different direction this year. We usually just flat out talk and have arguments and really grind each other on what exactly we want to do and how we're going to do it. And we usually decide a pretty good way, and so far it's worked out. But something that we've really been wanting to try is prototyping, and so this year we basically broke up into a whole bunch of different groups. So the entire team just basically spent time doing different prototypes. And so far we have about 4 or 5 prototypes.
The biggest challenge that we've had so far is being able to take all these different ideas for prototypes and ideas that we're going to employ in the final version and make them work together and decide on which ones to use. I think that's always the hardest part when it comes to these kind of things.
And we made them more we made them function better because we already knew kind of how we wanted to do it, and now we were working on how we were going to do it and what was the best way that we could make that happen.
So we're kind of going further and seeing how we can apply that on the actual robot with legit parts, not just 2x4s and PVC.
Is that made out of shoelaces and rubber bands?
Shoelaces and Vex parts. Third week is when we really found out we were kind of running behind schedule, and we kind of just ditched the prototypes and said, okay, enough prototyping, we need to really decide what we're going to do and how we're going to do it.
We've got a chassis, we've got wheels put on it, and we're actually starting to build stuff.
And we started ordering different miscellaneous parts that we needed from McMaster-Carr and Handy Mark and all those other places. And started building everything that we could.
We met at our mentor's house. His name is Mr. Ellis. He's been with us basically from the beginning. This is our 6th year as a team. And he basically has a full machine shop in his garage, so we've been over there working on the robot a lot.
We were building more parts and we had pretty much had the design going and just building it.
Well, we've started getting into details. We've started actually, custom making parts to put on the robot. It's starting to be built up a little bit.
We had gotten the first picker on the front of our robot and we were trying it out. It didn't quite work very well, so we were switching out different feet for it and trying to figure out which one would work the best with what we wanted it to do.
We're testing our picker concept, half concept, half design. Yeah.
It's the midget idea.
Huh?
It's the midget idea. We have Blaine in there.
I'm not a midget.
Very nice, Craig. You've done it.
Yeah.
Everything's started coming together. More of the robot was completed, and we were able to, push it around, push it over the bump, make sure it went over well, and everything seemed to be going smoothly. The 5th week, to be perfectly honest, it was a little bit lacking from where we wanted it to be. We were a little bit behind. We didn't have a lot of materials that we needed. And we didn't have enough people and enough machines to finish it in time. We were a little bit behind.
Geometry trains bad.
We had a lot to do, and because we still hadn't had the kicker fully working, we still had to design it, and we had to make it.
In the 6th week, we knew that we would not be able to finish the arm for our robot, so we decided to finish everything else and get everything else working so that we could ship that, and we would just attach the arm later after we constructed it.
Our kicker broke, which was interesting. We made it a little too light, so we're gonna make another one, bulk it up a little bit, and besides that, we've got almost everything worked out. There are just a few last details to get done. We need to get them done, but we will.
Otherwise, it just equalizes.
Little tiny hinges.
We just need to reinforce it again.
Is it one of the ones that we didn't drill out yet?
Yeah. It's the inside. You guys should
Wireless going? What?
Yeah.
The speaker is not on there. How far back is ball going?
Without the kicker there, yeah. Without the kicker there, you can't see.
It's in the way of everything else. Well, actually,
This is a perfect shredded on the freeway. It's not going anywhere. Well, unless you do that, then it's going to go somewhere.